Hello everyone and welcome to a really wonderful game from the 1988 World Cup. It's a game between Yasser, Seirawan and Alexander Beliavsky, two very well-known figures in the chess world, and since you guys enjoyed yesterday's video, that was also a very short game, I thought I'd throw in another one. This one is not as short, it is a bit longer, but it features a really awesome attack, so you guys are sure are going to enjoy it. That being said, let's check it out. And also, if you guys can make it today, we have Lichess Arena, starts 8:30 Central European time. The link is in the description below. First thing you will see. Let's enjoy the game. So Yasser with the white pieces opens with d4. We have d5 by Beliavsky, c4, c6, knight to c3, and knight to f6. Going for the Slav defense. We have c captures on d5, c captures, and bishop to f4 now. We have knight to c6 by black, and white just continues with e3. You can't really go for something like this to take advantage because you run into a very well-known trap by black. Not even queen to a5, but rather e5, and this is just game over. Because now if bishop captures on e5, you have this knight to e4 move, and now you have very nice control of the c3 square. Bishop to b4 check is coming, and white has to very quickly abandon whatever he was doing and try to consolidate. Because if you go for knight to c7 check, it seems like yes, everything is fine, but you just captured the knight. There's no problem. Bishop captures, bishop b4 check, and now the queen has to step in front of the king. You'll just pick up the queen with check, king to d1. Now even knight captures an f2 check, and that's just it. You're down white is down a full rook, and it's game over. So after knight to c6, we have e3, and now comes bishop to f5. So also getting some nice development. Then we have knight to f3, and now e6, and here bishop to b5, just pinning that knight, maybe preparing knight to e5. So black takes care of that. He plays knight to d7. Now this knight is no longer pinned, and also black has very nice control of the e5 square. So here Seirawan castles and bishop to e7. It seems like white is also preparing to castle, and the black probably would castle if white continued with something like rook to c1. Then we'd see castles, and you know, the game continues. However, here Seirawan played bishop captures on c6, and it's already maybe capturing for the sake of captures. We have b captures on c6, and now rook to c1. So okay, you will have this backward c6 pawn as a target. So Beliavsky defends it, and now we have knight to a4, not allowing any immediate c5 ideas. You really like this pawn to be stuck here on c6, but this allows Beliavsky to completely abandon any ideas of castling and go straight for the attack. And I don't remember what live stream it was. I know Yasser was streaming it. It was, I think, maybe 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago. He said that you don't want to give your opponent your home address too soon, because then he will know where you live and he will come and visit you. And this is exactly what Yasser did here. He castled and then he continued playing here, maybe on the queen side, but that doesn't work all that great with this position. So here Beliavsky just plays g5, and now we know what's coming. h4 is coming, h5, h4, and what can white do here? Well, of course, you have to move the bishop. So either bishop to e5 or bishop to g3. g3 makes a little bit more sense. So h5, preparing h4 to trap this bishop, and now comes h3. Of course, we have to create some breathing room for a bishop here, but now g4. So again, what do you play here? We have h captures on g4. There is one game where knight to e5 was played, black won that game, but here h captures on g4, and it is now as of move 15 that this position has never been reached again. So h captures on g4, attacks the knight. Now we have to go to e5, knight to e5. You could also go to h2, but that looks like a really weird square for the knight. For example, knight here, okay, you're attacking the g4 pawn, but after knight to f6 defending it, that knight is stuck there. I mean, it's maybe something you don't want to do. So instead he played knight to e5. The idea is the same. We're attacking the g4 pawn, so black of course will eliminate this knight. So knight captures on e5, bishop captures on e5, attacking the rook, and now f6. That's the good stuff. Bishop back to g3, and now we reach the position from the thumbnail where the black king announces checkmate. He says king to f7, and that's pretty much all that black needs to do here. Now the threat is just we move the rook, we double up on the h file, and we deliver rook to h1 checkmate. So is there any way for white to prevent this? Doesn't seem like it. Seirawan played rook to e1, trying to make some room for the king to try and escape to the center of the board. We still continue, rook to h5, and now queen to d2. Probably making room for the king all the way on d1, but it's maybe also even trying to get another defender if the bishop to b4 comes in, because these bishops are very, very strong. If this bishop ever comes to b4, could be even stronger. Okay, you have this retreat with knight to c3, but I guess he wanted to keep the knight there if at all needed to maybe come to c5. And now you could continue with queen to h8, which was your initial plan, but now, for example, king to f1, bishop to b4, and now knight to c3. It's unclear how to continue this attack. Well, it's not that unclear, but Beliavsky just started with this incredible move right away. So instead, after queen to d2, he didn't go for queen to h8, he instead played bishop to e4. And this is just a monster move because it prepares such a beauty that you guys are really gonna enjoy this one. So king to f1, of course we wanna bring our king over to d1 to try and keep it safe there. But now feel free to pause the video and really end the game for white while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on finding this brilliancy, and for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is of course bishop to f3. There are other moves that win this position, but bishop to f3 is just game over. It's a forced mate in 4, so it was in this position on move 21 that Yasser Seirawan resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. You take away the e2 square from the white king, and now rook to h1 will just be checkmate. And even if you capture the bishop, captures, the pawn still covers the e2 and g2 squares. Rook to h1 will be checkmate, and now after king to g1, you have many ways of winning this. You could just go queen to h8, and now rook to h1 is unstoppable. Or if you want to really be cool, you can also just sacrifice the rook first, then king captures, and then bring the queen into the h file with tempo. King g1, now queen to h3, and now you're getting checkmated. So a very nice 21 move game by Alexander Beliavsky against an incredibly strong opponent like Yasser Seirawan. Beliavsky finished in shared 3rd place, and the tournament was won by none other than Anatoly Karpov, but still a great achievement, and especially this game, it's really quite a beauty. So here you can see that castling is important, but castling too early and then, you know, not continuing in the style of your castle position can you know, bring to a very sudden downfall, like it happened here, because those g5, especially when you have the knight and bishop here, they're just, you know, free tempi for the pawns, just attack, just everything is coming forward, and you will not have time to consolidate. So maybe something to consider in your own games. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, do join us today. It's going to be a lot of fun. An hour and a half of the Lichess Arena. I think we already have almost 1,000 players registered for the tournament, so do join us. So yeah, once again, hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Tom Deralo, Michael Schmidi, Beres Ertel, Micah Kennedy, and Jan Glukovsky for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and everything else that's happening in the chess world. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.